Hello, Dawgpound South campers, and happy Easter. This is the Cleveland Browns Dawgpound South podcast, part of the Fanatical Elves Network, part of the Fans First Sports Network. I'm your host, Steve Gill. It is draft week. Finally. Everybody is going to just assume that it's going to be Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter. Most people think it's going to be Travis Hunter. I personally think it's going to be Abdul Carter. I've been on this train for a while and I'm not getting off, but I am not going to be upset if they draft Travis Hunter. I have told you in the past, I'm a little bit concerned about his size, 6 foot. They say he weighs 188. I don't think so. But, that's kind of small. I know that they still need a number 2 wide receiver behind Jerry Jeudy. And Tillman would be a number 3. But we'll see. There's no doubt Tennessee is going to take Cam Ward. I live in Nashville, and that's all that they're talking about is Cam Ward. So they're going to take Cam Ward. So the Browns will be on the clock. They will use just about every minute of their clock time. They are still not opposed to trading down, as you should be. They need to, notice they don't have a 5th round pick. They sent that in DTR to Philly to get Kenny Pickett. And, I could see him possibly trying to pick up a 5th pick. They got 4 4th round picks and a 7th round pick. Now, over the last couple of years, Andrew Berry has tried to trade that 7th round pick to get future picks. Hadn't been successful, so he's used it. 4 6th round picks. I just have a feeling that he's not going to stick with those 4. But if he does, they've got 10 picks. And even if they take Carter with the number 1, they'll have 9 more picks to draft offense. And like I've said, this is a great running back draft. This is a great tight end draft. Guess what? They need a running back and they need a tight end. Poof. I expect them to draft a offensive tackle, someone who can sit and learn, not be forced to play. Corner is always something that Andrew Berry likes to draft. They do have 2 players who are going to be free agents, Greg Newsome, Martin Emerson, so you might as well. They have Cameron Mitchell, and they've got Hayden. So we'll see what happens. Safety, not the greatest safety draft in the world, not the greatest wide receiver draft in the world, but you can still get value at wide receiver and safety. There are some nice safeties in here. They still haven't signed any veteran safeties. They've had them into Berea, but they still haven't signed them. I'm still anticipating a veteran signing. A lot of people love Ronnie Hickman. After that Texan playoff game where C.J. Stroud just picked him apart, I'm not that high on Ronnie Hickman. I'll be honest, when I see a player I'm not happy with, you'll hear it. So, he was an undrafted rookie free agent, so he didn't cost you much. It didn't cost you draft capital. So let's see what happens. Maybe they can work it out. But so we go into the draft. We have several needs, several holes. Everybody's going to tell you that got to be offense, all off. No, doesn't have to be all offense. I don't know if they're going to draft a linebacker. In my latest mock draft on the Fans First Sports Network, which should be out either today or tomorrow, I did take a linebacker late at 255. Andrew Berry used that word nebulous again in describing JOK. I have a feeling he is not going to be back this year. I have a feeling he's going to be on the PUP list. They signed a couple linebacker, re-signed Bush, and signed the former Ohio State player. So that kind of tells me that he won't be back, which is a shame. I love JOK, and he was playing at a Pro Bowl level when he got hurt. But it's a neck injury. Neck injuries are very, very dangerous. So we'll have to wait and see on that. But so let me talk a little bit about what Andrew Berry does in the draft after this break. Okay, so we've had many years, 5 years of Andrew Berry's drafts. So I have a pretty good idea how he does things. Like I mentioned earlier, they will take all the time in the world. They will make sure Cam Ward's going to Tennessee. It's not 100%. And they will take their time. They'll see if they can work a trade. I don't anticipate him pulling an Eric Mangini and dropping down 2 or 3 times. But they will try to pick up draft capital. Never hurts to have capital this year and next year. I don't anticipate a trade down because it always takes 2 to tango, and I can't see anybody wanting to come up for anyone unless somebody absolutely falls in love with Travis Hunter. Nobody's falling in love with Shedeur Sanders. I hate to tell that to people, but nobody is. Now your next big move the media is promoting is a trade up back into the first. I can't believe this, but I believe they've said this for the last 3 years. The Browns have the possibility of trading back up into the first round. The last time they did it, John Dorsey was the GM. So Andrew Berry's never drafted back up into the first round. I just can't see it happening. I think they're going to sit there and wait and see how the board falls. That number 33 pick on day 2 is like gold. And the Browns know it. So I saw one mock draft where they traded up Philly 1 spot to get a quarterback. Well, that's ridiculous. Philly has their quarterbacks. Philly's not taking a quarterback. Why in God's name would you give up draft capital to do that? So usually what happens in the first round talent gets pushed down into the second round. You never know. There might be a run. There may be a player, a position that teams really, really need. And all of a sudden, a couple other teams feel the same way and they start drafting. There's always a run on cornerbacks. DBs, there's always a run because it's a passing league. So I don't know if that's going to happen late in the first. This isn't really strong on defensive backs. There's some quality guys at the top, but we'll have to wait and see. And that's what Andrew Berry will do. He lets the board come to him. He doesn't draft for need. He drafts for value. Everybody needs to understand this. I mean, when they got Grant Delpit, he was on the board in the second round, and then Andrew Berry traded down to, I think it was 2 spots. And I was like, oh, great. Dang, that's a guy I wanted. Well, he knew the teams below him weren't going to take Grant Delpit, and he picked them up anyway. So maybe something like that could happen. A little mini trade down, just a little movement, pick up something for next year in the way of the draft picks. So just remember, the media is going to promote, and the NFL loves this because they want everybody watching this draft. They want everybody talking about this draft this week. This is the number 1 show. So just remember, Andrew Berry's never traded back up into the first round. I can't see him doing it again. Their philosophy is let the board come to you and then take the best value. So don't get upset. Don't get mad. Don't throw things at your TV if they don't trade up back up in the first round. All right. Local media is going to push this and hype this as much as humanly possible. In my mock draft, which I hope will be out either today or tomorrow, I had Milroe at the 33 pick. You know, they like Milroe. Tommy Reese knows Milroe. He's the perfect type quarterback to sit for a year. You've got Flacco. You've got Kenny Pickett. We don't know which one is going to start. A lot of people are down on Kenny Pickett. I'm not. What I've heard is this type of system. Everybody's already told you that this is the exact same system he ran when he was at college at Pitt. So, and that the offense run by Matt Canada in Pittsburgh was lousy. It was terrible. It did him no justice. So I am going to wait and see on Kenny Pickett. We all know what Joe Flacco brings. He brings veterans, but he also brings interceptions. But given a better offensive line and a running game, very important. They're going to draft 2 running backs. I've told you this from the beginning. They're going to draft 2 running backs. A better running game, some targets. They're also going to draft a tight end for a number 2 tight end. More targets, better offensive line, better running game. I think Joe Flacco can thrive in this. I know he's 40. He hasn't played 17 games in a long time. Haven't played a complete season. That's why you have both him and Kenny Pickett. So we're into draft week. Everybody relax, calm down, go into Thursday night with an open mind. All right? If they don't take Travis Hunter, don't get all upset. I don't care who they take. If they take Carter or Hunter, I'll root for them anyway. They have drafted numbnuts in the first round in the past, not this front office that I didn't like, past front offices, but I still rooted for the Browns. All right. Well, everybody have a great day. This has been the Cleveland Browns Dawgpound South podcast, part of the Fanatical Elves Network, part of the Fans First Sports Network. And I'm your host, Steve Gill. Enjoy your Easter Sunday. And everybody, as always, thank you for watching, listening, subscribing, and following us here at the Fanatical Elves Network. We're just Browns fans like you. So everybody, have a great day and go Browns.